Hey guys, Keith Engle, TGI Sports Talk. Sunday stream of consciousness. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. Got some music playing behind me. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Haven't been able to find a great place to broadcast from, but this will do. See how many guys show up. We'll do maybe a half an hour. Couldn't make it this morning at 9 a.m. as we had a short excursion here in Bonaire. We're in Bonaire today. Haven't been here before. This is our first time ever in Bonaire. Part of the Netherlands territories down here in the Caribbean. Certainly spent time at the others, Carousel and Aruba. This is our first trip to Bonaire. Had a nice tour around the island. Had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys are having a great Sunday, staying warm, staying snow-free wherever you are. I know the mid-Atlantic states are getting hit pretty hard with some snow right now. North Carolina, West Virginia, even South Carolina's got some snow. It's cold all along the eastern seaboard. Up in the Northeast, we've been in the single digits, I think, since we left, basically. But here we are on the Caribbean Princess, and it's been a great week so far. What did we get here? Wednesday, and it's Sunday now. We got a week till the Super Bowl. We got some things we can talk about. I'm not up to date on everything that's going on, quite frankly, but I know Bill Belichick, we obviously had the Hall of Fame voting released, some of it released. We know that Belichick's not in. We know that Eli Manning's not in again. We can talk about that stuff. We can talk about the Super Bowl that's upcoming. Any baseball news you want to get into, basketball. We'll dive back into college basketball when we get back and kick off the College Sports Huddle again the Wednesday that we're back, still another 10 days away. But it's been a great trip so far, and I wanted to get on here as I promised you guys, because we couldn't go live at 9 o'clock. I promised you I would get on here and see what's going on. I want to see if I can find my comments. Hold on a second. Hey, Paul Spada's with us. How are you, Paul? Good to see us. See you. How do I get this to go on the stage? The phone has changed so much, but it's hard for me to go back. Did that come up in the comments? Anyway, hi, Paul. How are you? Trying to show these comments. If it isn't, I apologize. But Danny's here. Bear with me, guys. I'm having trouble putting the comments up on the stage, so I don't know what. I see they're showing up now. All right, good. See what happens when I do this. Now it comes down. All right, maybe we got to figure it out. Hopefully, won't take myself off the camera again. So anything you guys want to talk about today, we can. I'll go 30 minutes. I'll go an hour because I need a nap today before dinner. It's been a long day today. But, God, it's a beautiful day. I don't know if you can see. I'll kind of show you a little bit. Probably not going to see too much, but I'll put you up in the air here. Before we get off the air, we'll maybe give you a little bit more of a look. It's a beautiful port here in Bonaire. As we said, we've never been here before, and it's a very, very interesting looking island. Some great spots here around the capital, but very sparsely populated, and it's very interesting place for sure. So good to have you guys with us. And I hope that the feed is okay as far as audio and video. But you guys put up whatever it is you want to talk about, and we'll do so. Who else is here? Here's Scott Kobe with us. How are you, Scott? Good to have you with us. Let's see what happens when I do this. I'm still trying to make sure that you guys are seeing me. No, I don't see me. Well, I'm trying to put up the comments and keep them on the stage. Maybe that's not working so well. Let me go this way. Maybe I can see better this way. This sometimes works better. We'll see how that works out. I'm not seeing any. Kind of weird. Anyway, welcome, Scott. Good to have you with us. Anything you want to talk about? Belichick, the release. Why is the Hall of Fame? Let me talk to you about this. First of all the Hall of Fames, and I said this a little bit on my connection test the other day. All the Hall of Fames have got to have a better. Let me put this up a little bit. All the Hall of Fames have got to have better transparency. It's BS that we know a week, more than a week, before the results are even released, guys who didn't get in. I mean, what's going on? What is this all about anyway? And then there's the question of whether, guys should have to release their votes or not. Sorry, I got to go back because I can't see. Hello, Rick. Good to have you with us. I'm trying to put up the comments, guys, but what's happening is I lose me if I do it. Let's see if I go back. I'm trying desperately to get these up, but I can't seem to get me back when there we go. I think that's how you do it. So I'm trying to read you guys stay with me. Hopefully my face doesn't blow up too much as I try to get to the comments and be able to read them. Scott Kobe, they supposedly changed the Veterans NFL Hall of Fame from a thumbs up to a thumbs down vote. Well, they still had to get 40 out of 50 votes. A lot of the nonsense I've read about certain guys is, whether it's nonsense or not, I don't know. And again, I'm not all worked up about this. I'm more worked up about the process. And let me know if that noise is too loud from the movie they're playing on Lido. I'll move. You guys can tell me. Somebody tell me if you're getting all that noise. I'm not worked up about Bill Belichick not getting in first try. Don't care. I know it's politics. I never expected him to get in the first try. But we all know that Bill Belichick is a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's not the question. So, anyway, whose question is that? That's still Rick up there. How's Rick still up there? Okay, can we get it off? There we go. So Scott says they changed the vote to a thumbs up, thumbs down. I still think you need 40 out of 50 votes. We know two guys have said they didn't vote, so kudos to them for at least saying why and giving their reasons. The one guy, I think the writer from Kansas City, said that he didn't vote for him because the three other Veterans Committee guys are two. Yeah, I think the players, at least two of them are running out of eligibility, maybe all three. L.C. Greenwood, Ken Anderson, and Roger Craig. Now, again, fine players, and I have advocated for Ken Anderson to get in the Hall of Fame. But if you ask me if any of those three belong in the Hall of Fame ahead of Bill Belichick, well, the answer is no. So it's a punishment for Bill Belichick. It'll likely be a year, and he'll be in. If it drags on past a year, you'll see me a little bit more up in arms. If this happens to Tom Brady in 4 years or 3 years, whatever it is now, I'll probably be up in arms. But what can you do? Rick says that's working now with the comments. It is going up there, but what happens is, Rick, I'm having trouble doing it. Let me try it again. And then getting back to me. I see. That's what happened. All right. I guess I figured it out now. Anyway. So again, anything you guys want to talk about today? You're not going to hear me bitching this week either about Drake May and potential injuries, because as Danny knows, I say that injuries are not an excuse for losing. So if the Patriots have to go in this with Drake May banged up, with Landry banged up, with Spillane banged up, three guys that have missed practice and are on the questionable list, I'm sure there'll be others. That's the way the ball rolls, guys, and you either go win and figure it out, or you don't. So you won't hear me complaining too much about that either. And as soon as I find a place where I'm by myself, somebody shows up. But it's just kind of ridiculous. I'm not going to get myself all worked up too much about any of that. And there's a long week ahead of this game, right? I do not expect Drake May to be impacted necessarily by the injuries or illness that he supposedly has. So those are a couple things that we could talk about. What's Scott saying here? Scott says, what this note to Belichick is getting is pushing some other great coaches back a year, possibly 2 years. Maybe. That's probably true. Coaches that are done and come up for consideration while Belichick's on the ballot, they will get pushed back most likely. Unless they plan on, boycotting Belichick altogether. I don't know. It's possible they will. I don't know how they can, but you have to see how this hashes out. I mean, he needed 40 votes. We know 2 guys didn't vote for him. So there's at least, 9 more. If he got 39 votes, I mean, he's getting it. If he has 5 votes, well, maybe he won't. But it's kind of nonsense. The whole thing. I'm not getting worked up on either side, so. I am relaxed, Paul. I can tell you that right now. It is. There's no better place to be. I know a lot of guys have commented that, they don't get the whole cruise experience, man. I got to tell you, there's no better place to be. I don't worry about what. I mean, we had short excursions. We have 3. We had 1 here. We've got 1 to Panama Canal in a few days, where we're at a port on one side of the canal, and we're taking an excursion all the way up through the canal. That'll be fun. You can go through the canal on cruise ships, but you've got to be on smaller ships. And then we have 1 in Cartagena, I believe, as well. So that'll be fun as well. So we'll have some fun with that. But thank you. I feel relaxed, and I'm always, I am relaxed pretty much every day now, unless I'm worked up about something. Who else we got with us today? Anybody else I've seen? Scott, Paul, and Rick. Guys, help me out. Bring up some comments. Rick, I asked you a question in the chat the other day. Didn't get an answer. The GM for the Vikings gets fired. His name I'm forgetting. You can probably help me out. Danny, you can help me out. Did somebody have to take the fall there? I mean, what are you going to do? You've got a rookie quarterback who has not played. You invested a high draft pick in, which is why you don't do that, by the way, because you end up doing things like getting rid of Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold's in the Super Bowl. I don't think somebody's got to take the fall there. This guy's obviously done a good job putting together a pretty good team. And he's got a really good coach. And I don't know that J.J. McCarthy isn't the answer. We give up on guys way too fast. Why does somebody have to take the fall? I mean, I'm just like clueless. I'm going to move over there a little bit, guys, because we can get some shade. It's easier for me to see the comments and such, so bear with me. Oh, while I do this, take a look out there. I got a good spot. I'm going to move over 1 more because this will stay in the shade longer. The sun moves, I lose the shade, and I can't really see what's going on in front of me. Here we go. So, take my hat off. So I need somebody to help me out here. Give me an answer. I don't want to miss something here. Watch out for the icebergs. No icebergs here, actually. I'll tell you, it was cold. We left Fort Lauderdale on Wednesday. Well, we got into Fort Lauderdale on Tuesday, and it was 30-some degrees. We got on the ship on Wednesday, and it was about 40. Even the first day didn't warm up a whole lot. So, what's Scott got here? Probably should have worn something besides my... Okay, Scott, what do you got? Scott believes... Hold on, buddy. I'm having trouble reading the comments. This is where I wish we had volume. So what are you saying, Scott? Scott doesn't believe that it was Darnold that got him fired. Yeah, maybe I got in the shade too much. I don't know. I also don't have the best glasses on for reading. I apologize. So you don't think it was a Darnold situation that got him fired? Jones. Oh, you think it was Daniel Jones? I mean, think about it though. Daniel Jones got $40 million. How are you going to pay J.J. McCarthy and Daniel Jones $40 million a year? I don't think it's feasible to have one of those guys sit on the bench. You're going to start the season with J.J. McCarthy, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Paul wants to know, he's talking about Drake May's injury. Listen, he's got a week to get ready. I'm not making a big deal about it, and I can't. I mean, I've said injuries are part of the game, and injuries are not an excuse for losing. Do I think he's hurt, not going to play? No, I don't. Do I think he's hurt worse than Mike Vrabel is talking about? I do. He missed practice on Friday. Vrabel didn't even really talk about the injury. He talked about it being done because of injury and keeping the rest of the team healthy. Illness and keeping the rest of the team healthy. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. I do know Spillane is hurt, and I do know Landry's hurt. They're all three listed as questionable. So do I think? Look, they've got to listen. You got 2 weeks between games, right? Well, you got to have stuff to talk about. I do think Drake May got hurt. I think he's banged up. They played 20 games now. Everybody's got some kind of injury. So again, to me, it's not going to impact the game in my mind. If for some reason he can't play or he can't go full speed, and the Patriots have to figure it out, plain and simple. Did I have your comment up there, Paul? I think I did. What's Rick got here? Okay, that's fair. Rick says he had to go. It's down here. Rick's comment didn't come up. So Rick says that the GM, what was his name, Rick? Help me out. He says he had to go. Poor drafting, not just JJ, is only part of the problem. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, the Vikings cannot. I'm not saying they shouldn't bring in a quarterback and maybe have him compete with JJ. Not saying give him the job. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying do not give up on JJ McCarthy. You're seeing it. Sam Darnold's actually a great example of that. Not that I think the Jets necessarily gave up too soon on him because he had to go somewhere else, but we expect way too much out of first and second year quarterbacks. You can't. Everybody doesn't grow at the same pace, right? Not everybody's going to be, Drake May in his second year, or Caleb Williams, or C.J. Stroud in his first year. We get too worked up over that. I think JJ, listen, 100% bring in a quarterback, but they do have other issues. Listen, they got a really good coach. I think Kevin O'Connell likely is going to get more say in player personnel there. We'll see how that goes. What's Paul got here? You still hear my intro music? All right. Bear with me a second. I'll get rid of that. I thank you for that. I probably only turned it down and didn't turn it off. Sounds. There it is. It's still playing. That's my bad. All right. There we go. Sorry about that, gentlemen. Thank you for pointing that out, Rick. Always point out something to me if you can, guys. Mensa, yeah, I should have remembered that because the Mensa kid. Some other big news actually is Duke and Mensa, the quarterback, coming to a decision, and he's on his way to Miami as we speak. So another big piece of. I should have remembered that. Thank you, Scott. Just touching on a couple of those things. I think the Vikings fought back and had a pretty damn good. Did they finish 9-8, or did they finish 8-9? I don't remember whether they won their last game right now. I've really been decompressing here. Not that there's a lot. Here's the thing. And I talked about this. When you're retired, I keep telling my wife says we're on vacation. My brother-in-law, who's with us, my brother and sister-in-law are with us, and he feels like it's more like we've just gone away. We're out of town. That's kind of how I look at it. I'm on vacation like every day now. It did finish 9-8. Thank you, Scott. Thought so. So listen, this team had a pretty good season when you look at it, and the way they started and the way they played in the middle of the season. Great finish. I'm not saying J.J. McCarthy was the reason for that. He's got to show he can stay healthy. He's got to show he can play more consistently. Just remember, the kid's only played what? He didn't play all the games this year. What did he play? I don't know. Let's just say he played 14. That gives him 15 games? Probably not even that many. Don't judge quarterbacks by 15 games. I guarantee you, you would find a lot of guys who would have been great players who never would have been great players if he just gave up on them after year one. Peyton Manning was awful. Better than J.J. McCarthy. Don't say that. Peyton Manning was awful in his first year. He threw 28 interceptions. So stay the course. Bring in a veteran to compete with him, and give your coach a little more say in player personnel there. Vikings are going to be in decent position in that Northern Division. I think the Bears are, built to last. I really do. I think Green Bay could be on a downside. We'll see. A little surprised that the coach is coming back there, quite frankly. I really thought there might be a change, but maybe for the best keeping him. And the Lions are the Lions. I mean, the window's not closed on the Lions. It could quickly. But there's too much talent there to say the window's closed. They need some help on that offensive play calling, and I know that they hired an offensive coordinator, but Dan Campbell's got to trust this guy and let him call the plays. If Dan Campbell just takes the reins again, then Dan Campbell's going to put himself in a fire line, quite frankly. What's Scott got here? Can I read this? The Vikings did not give up a passing TD for 6 straight games. If he believes that the MVP of that Vikings team is Brian Flores. I agree. Great job keeping him, by the way. You know what? It's a great comment. And talking about this is probably relevant. Brian Flores and getting a head coaching job is probably going to be problematic, man. I mean, who's going to hire? And Brian Flores, I feel bad. He put himself in this position. He got fired from the Dolphins basically because he, didn't want Tua, and he also refused to throw games. I'm sorry, tank games, not throw games. Tank games, or try to tank games. Again, that's what Stephen Ross wanted, and Brian Flores said no, and he gets fired, and Brian Flores sues the league. You should not have done this. You should not have used the racism word. You shouldn't, discrimination is such a slippery slope, because who's going to hire you if they're going to be worried about when they have to fire you? Every coach is going to get fired. I shouldn't say every. 99% of coaches are going to get fired. The Steelers is the one place who he could probably get hired, and they could fire him because they are the originators of the Rooney Rule. But even there, I mean, it's a slippery slope, and he should be a head coach. I agree. And good job though by the Vikings keeping him around. Listen, I don't disagree. Regardless, let me if I can get this up, Rick. I think you're on the stage now. Yeah. It just takes so much work to get up here. There we go. Line needs a lot of work. Listen, a lot of lines need a lot of work. The Patriots line needs a lot of work, and they're in the Super Bowl. The Chargers offensive line needs a ton of work. They made the playoffs. You saw the Texans offensive line was putrid, and they made it to the divisional round. You can win with bad offensive lines, and you have to. There are very few teams that have great offensive lines, and if they do, they aren't deep. because we spend all the money on quarterbacks and wide receivers. You can't be deep everywhere. And offensive line, defensive line as well. Two places you should keep yourself deep, they don't do. Crazy. Guys, tell me how the audio is. Are you here? Because now the music's playing loud. It's the original Maverick is on the playing on the big screen here on the Lido deck. If that music is too much, I apologize. But anyway, yeah, they need work and they got to get some offensive linemen. Chiefs rebuilt their offensive line after remember how bad the Chiefs offensive line was when they lost at Tampa Bay in a Super Bowl? They rebuilt it in one offseason. Window's not closed. I wouldn't even say the Buffalo Bills window's closed, by the way. And that's an interesting conversation to have, too, if you guys are interested. I told you guys, and I told the guys on the panel show on McGrath Podcast Network, one of our panel shows, that when Sean McDermott got fired, he got fired because they wanted Joe Brady to be their quarterback. Joe Brady was going to take interviews elsewhere. They were afraid about losing Joe. And whether you think Joe Brady's going to be a good coach or not, from what I understood, his introductory press conference did not light people on fire. But they fired him because they didn't want to lose Joe Brady. And, it's classless. I think, look, it's their right to fire him. I got no business saying you can't fire your coach for not winning a Super Bowl when I want Aaron Boone out. But you got to look at the circumstances, too. The Yankees hired Aaron Boone. They'd won a World Series within the last 5 or 6 years, let's say. Maybe it was a little more than that. But they also hadn't been out of the playoffs for 17 consecutive seasons, like the Bills were before Sean McDermott got fired. So they wanted Joe Brady. We'll see how it works out. I don't think their window's necessarily shut. You got Josh Allen, you got James Cook. You've got a chance to play well and win. Now, with that said, don't forget who else is in their division, right? Hold on, Scott, because I want to get Rick's out of there. Then I got to read. It's easier if I read it before I put it up. Wasn't Flores with the Patriots a couple of decades ago? Not a couple of decades ago, Scott, but recently. Before he went to Dolphins, he was a Patriots quasi. Don't think he ever had the title of defensive coordinator because remember, there was lots of years we didn't have an offensive coordinator. We didn't have a defensive coordinator by title because Belichick didn't want to pay him. But Brian Flores was the defensive play caller for a couple of seasons before he went to Miami. So, yes. Who we got here? Is that Bo? I can't tell who this is. Is that Bo? Bo, if that's you or whoever it is, it is awesome. We've had a great first day. We had some choppy weather, rain, wind, but coming out of Florida because we were going through that whole weather front that's hit Florida and the whole East Coast, quite frankly. So it was chilly that first day, but you stay inside. But since then, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the weather's been gorgeous. Overcast in places, but 85. We're in Bonaire today. We came back just a couple hours ago from an excursion around the island. Had a blast. So we haven't been to Bonaire before. We've been to all these Dutch territories, Curacao and Aruba, but not Bonaire, and it's very nice. It's beautiful around the capital city here. You get out of here, people are living in shanties basically, but very safe. This isn't in the hurricane zone. Not a lot of crime. It's a great place. Don't come here to make money. A woman was telling me today that the tax rate is over $50,000 is 50%. Good grief. Right. So I think that's Bo anyway. So where were we? We talked about the Vikings. We talked about the Patriots and Drake May's potential injury. We talked about Belichick and Hall of Fame. We can revisit any of these. Bo, if that's you, got anything else you want to bring up, please do. We got to play your Seahawks in 7 days from today. I'm so excited. Can't tell you. I've been trying to scope out where we're going to watch it on the ship. This could be not a bad spot where I am right now. Problem is I'm going to have to get these seats and keep them all day somehow. Not easy. But we'll think about it. I looked at these the other day. I wasn't sure I wanted to do it. And we got a little glass in front of us, but it's not terrible. Inside, not great. I mean, it's possible I'll end up in the cabin, quite frankly, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, guy's wearing a rhino shirt. I don't know what the hell that is. What's Bo got here? Yeah, well, obviously that's Bo. I got to tell you, Bo, I'm looking forward to it too. I think it's going to be a really good football game. Listen, just to talk about that game for a second, and Bo, I don't know that I can get on Wednesday night. I hope I can, maybe for 10 minutes before we go to dinner. But I'm excited. You got a really good football team. Look at this is, and the Patriots have been wrongly accused, by the way, of not playing or beating anybody. I don't give a two you know what about who they played, because they beat up teams that they were supposed to beat up. They've now beaten 3 of the best 4 defenses in football. If they were to win the Super Bowl, they would have beat 4 of the 5. You take your asterisks. I know this isn't you, Bo. And you can do you know what with it. This is going to be a good football team. This is a good Seattle football team. Sam Darnold got the monkey off his back last week. Bo, I don't know that you and I got a chance to talk about it. I don't think we did because I wasn't on the show this Wednesday. But Sam Darnold got the monkey off his back. I said, and he shut me up and a lot of people, because I said that Seattle could not win if they had to ride Sam Darnold. Well, they rode Sam Darnold that day, and Sam Darnold played a great football game. Their defense is awesome. Their special teams are awesome. They can run the football most of the time. They've got some really good weapons at the wideouts. It's a team without a lot of flaws. I still think you can rattle Darnold, and the Patriots have to hope that that's the case. And they're going to have to go out there and take care of the football. They cannot turn the football over the way they have throughout the playoffs. Better against the Broncos in bad weather. I think it's going to be a very close football game. Could be up and down. Who knows? I mean, they're 2 really good defenses for sure. And by the way, some great news today when you guys saw it. But Terrell Williams, Patriots defensive coordinator, who has not been with the team traveling this whole season. He has been at the facility now and again after he was diagnosed with prostate cancer in September. Has been declared cancer-free. He will be with the team at the Super Bowl. He will not be calling plays, however. That will stay the way that they've been doing it. So I'm excited, Scott. Bo, Scott, I'm excited too. But, Bo, I'm really excited about playing your team. I think this is 2 really, really good football teams. I think pretty evenly matched. I think it comes down to whether the Patriots can protect Drake May and run the football. That's just me. Whether I'm right or not, who knows? It's not like I'm getting paid a lot for these conversations. Where am I here? There's bar. You know, there's plenty of. There's not a sports bar here on this ship. Per se, there's a bar in the casino, but it's too smoke filled in there. There's a Fusion Lounge which has a lot of TVs, tons of TVs all over the place, where we might go and watch it. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I want to watch it on deck here. It's problematic whether we're going to have the wherewithal to get 4 seats out here. We'll see, but I'm excited. And we'll if I'm in the cabin, I'm in the cabin. I'm not going to worry about it. Believe me. Worst comes to worst, I'll have it on my iPad on Dofu. So. But there are other places. There's probably 3 or 4 places around the ship you can watch it. None of them all that conducive. I think the Fusion Lounge is probably the best place. where they're playing bingo, they're playing deal or no deal, and all this stuff during the day. Probably holds 100-ish, and they do have 3 big TVs near the front of it, and then on almost every column around the room there's a TV, so we'll be good. Believe me, Bo, I'll find it. This is my 10th Super Bowl in a row on a cruise ship. So one of them was Patriots. If you remember, they trailed 28-3 in one of those Super Bowls, so we had some fun that day. What do you got here? The dancing machine. The dancing machine has not really. Is that up or not? Oh, it didn't go up. The dancing machine is having fun, Rick, but she has not really hit the dance floor too much, at least not for broadcasting purposes. But we've been having fun. We don't say it. Listen, we're 60. We're both in our mid to late, moving on to our late 60s. We aren't going to do it. We aren't doing a lot. We go after dinner. We go to a show. And believe me, I'm in bed by 9 or 10 o'clock half the time. So, what did I miss up here? Did I miss something? If I missed you, put something back up. Bo says, "Oh, the Patriots should use against the." It's pretty simple, I think, Paul. And I think Bo can tell you. Hey, you got to pressure Sam Darnold. You got to make Sam Darnold beat you. I'm stopping the run. As great as Sam Darnold played against the Rams, he still got to beat me. I don't think Bo would disagree with that. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Take away the run. You got to rush the quarterback. They've rushed the quarterback in every playoff game and done it very well. If they can do it here, that's the game plan to beat them. Offensively, run the football. And mistake-free. Scott, somebody said here, I think it was Bo. Yeah, Bo said the key to the Pats is ball security. I agree 100%. You got to take care of football, as I've already said. Drake May, as great as he's been, still has had this problem with ball security. Not a ton of interceptions, but too many times the ball's on the ground, especially in the playoffs. He kind of fixed that problem mid-season into the late season, but it's cropped up again here in the playoffs against some really good, aggressive defenses in Houston. 3 great defenses: the Chargers, the Texans, and the Broncos. All tremendous defenses. Seattle might be better than all of them. He's going to be under pressure. He's got to know when to get rid of the ball. He's got to know when to eat the ball, and he's got to protect the football and find ways to beat this team with his legs until they can get the passing game going. That's me. You won't hear me say a lot differently as we go far, for sure. What's Scott got here? Scott says the way the Patriots beat the Seahawks is agreed, 100%, Scott. Let me put this up. Long drives. Eat the clock up. Keep your defense fresh and off the field so that when they're on the field, they can do the things I just talked about. Stuff the run, pressure Sam Darnold. Make Sam Darnold beat you. If he beats me, he beats me. You got to pick your poison, right? I mean, I'm probably not letting Kenny Walker beat me. Kenneth Walker, whatever his name is. Rick, that's a good call, too, in a way that the Patriots have had a lot of pressure up the middle. Since Williams is back in the middle of that defensive line, number one, to help stuff the run, but they also have stunted tremendously. And if you've watched these games, you see what I'm talking about. And they put a lot of pressure on up the middle. They were in C.J. Stroud's face all the time. Some of it is outside pressure. But they've been able to get a pass rush both with blitzes and without blitzes. So I agree. I mean, look at get in his face. I agree 100%. Scott's going to Encore Casino in Boston, reserve 6 seats in the sportsbook, food, beverage, reserve seating, $129 per person. That's a good deal. That's a pretty good deal, Scott. How far is that from where you are? Do you got a long ride, or are you right there? I would love to do something like that too. It's going to be great here, but listen, it doesn't matter where I go. As I looked around the other day, I felt like the seating here in the Lido was going to be limited. As I'm out here today, it looks a little bit better because I know you can still bring more stuff. Because there's look at this is an older crowd, not as young. I don't know how many people will be up for the Super Bowl. I like where I'm sitting right now. It's a straight line. There can't be anybody behind us. Oh, there could be. We can go up one more. So we might be able to pull this off. That's where I want to be. That's where I was for 28-3, sitting on his Lido deck, never giving up, man, saying all we need is one score. All we need is one score. What's this? Bo says that'll be a good spot to watch. Scott, I agree. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Where are you going to be at, Bo? Are you doing some remote somewhere, or are you just going to go and watch the game? Scott Paul also, it's long drives and taking what the Seahawks offense is giving you. This is the best defensive Patriots have played. So patience. I agree 100%. Let me show that. Again, I'm not showing it before I read it because it's easier. I can't read it once it's highlighted here. Yes, you got to take care of the football, take what they give you. I mean, that's where Drake May really – he throws the ball down the field exceptionally well, right? But if you don't have time to get the ball down the field, then you got to take what they give you and bite it off 6, 7 yards at a time. Keep yourself in third and short situations, not 3rd and 9, not 3rd and 8, which too often they were in against the Broncos early. But I've said this a lot. One of the things that really impresses me about Drake May is his ability to overcome playing poorly and find ways to win games late. He did it again against the Broncos. So you look at the numbers and they're awful. But he made some huge plays with his feet and a couple of big throws in that fourth quarter as the weather got worse. So Drake May has impressed me with his ability to overcome tough starts. And he's done it several times now. Just saying. As Danny would say, just saying. Right? I just told you what's. Oh, I think I just told you. Didn't I just tell you what Seattle needs to do or no? I think Seattle needs to run the football. I still don't think they want to rely on Darnold. Right? You got to pressure Drake May. You got to turn the ball over. They turn the ball over against the Patriots. I'm talking about turning the Patriots over. Patriots are going to lose. And it could get ugly if Drake May doesn't protect the ball better. If Ramondre Stevenson should turn into the fumble machine he was early in the year, it wasn't that bad. He did correct it. Ramondre Stevenson, by the way, has played great since he came back from injury. He's as responsible for that win against the Broncos as anybody else. They rode him in that fourth quarter for about 60 yards. And that's the way you finish out football games. I mean, this team reminds me a lot, guys. And Scott, Paul, you can agree or disagree. This team reminds me a lot of the 2001 Patriots. That 2002 Super Bowl against the Rams, there was no big stars. And that team, and the defense was very good. It's very good now. Brady wasn't Brady yet. Drake May's probably a little bit better at this point than Brady was in 2001, I would say. Not a lot, but a little bit. But they ran the ball. There's no big stars on that team. He's throwing the ball to Troy Brown, who I love, by the way, David Patton, Wiggins at tight end. We're running and they're running out the clock. They're getting ahead, playing great defense, and running the ball with Antoine Smith is how they won the games that year. Not necessarily the Super Bowl, but with Antoine Smith running out games. You've seen a lot of that with the Patriots this second half of the season. Get ahead. You still need to run the football to win in this league, and you run the football when you're ahead and close out games. And if Seattle gets out in front, it might be tough for the Patriots to come back. I don't see them coming back from a 14-point deficit in this game. So if I'm Seattle, I'm attacking right away. I want to run the football. Maybe I do. Maybe I'll go back on what I just said. Maybe you take some shots down the field early. If I'm the Seahawks, but listen, get out in front, control the clock, control the football. I don't think the game plan's a lot different for either team. A big turnover here could determine the outcome of this game for sure. That's not rocket science, right? Bo, it will be. I'm trying to read this, guys. Oh, they got Archie. Scott's just talking about where he's going. That's good. I agree. There's Flo. Flo's with us from Bottom Line Sports. Please, guys, you don't see it scrolling today. I apologize, but check out Flo and Kian at Bottom Line Sports. Check out their podcasts. Great stuff. I try to share the page and share the shows when I'm prompted to, because my memory is going like crazy. But check out Flo and Kian for sure. And John Gonzalez at the Sports Authorities, we thank him. Greg Rawlings at America's Pastime, great friend of the show. Flo and Kian, obviously. Let's Talk Sports. Dan Harris is one of my guys, and I know he's still looking down on all of us. And Tanner D's done a great job over there, keeping the network going. Dan's baby. We still have a good relationship where we share our show. Ken Krause over at Golf Buzz, Sports of all sorts and whatnot. Anyway, Flo says Drake needs 90% Drake May, or they are just going to lose. They don't have that right now. Drake has struggled in these playoffs. Maybe it's partially the injury, but he's not the same guy right now. I agree. He's not the same guy right now, Flo. But, they found ways to win games, and Drake May has found way to win games with his feet, also with his arm. He still makes a big throw here and there. Has he played well? No. But to me, again, I've said this a bunch of times, the mark of a great quarterback, and again, let me preface this, I'm not comparing Drake May to Tom Brady, not even a little bit. But the mark of a great quarterback, and Tom Brady did this a lot in big games, he would be terrible. Not a lot, but there were times he was terrible for 3 quarters of that game and found a way to beat you in the fourth quarter. Just figure it out. Drake May figures it out. The injury's there, but regardless of what you think of how he's played, he's made big throws and big runs in fourth quarters of all 3 of these games. So, listen, I don't disagree. They need Drake May to win this game. I didn't say they didn't, but Drake May's got to be turnover free. We also need to run the football, close out this game. I didn't see that. 15 minutes. I don't know what that is, Scott. 15 minutes. We are watching the game in the new sports bar at Turning Stone. Cool. That's Rick. Rick will be at Turning Stone Casino watching the Super Bowl. I may be in this very chair I'm in right now, quite frankly. I'm going to figure it out. Who we got here? There's Bo. Yep, I got to read this first, Bo. Sorry. Haven't decided where yet, but no reporting. Going to watch it live as a fan. That's a smart idea because it's too hard to do this stuff. My plan is Sunday morning I'll do the big football show or whatever we're calling it now on the McGrath Podcast Network at 8 o'clock. I'll do my Sunday stream of consciousness live at 9 for an hour, hour and a half, and then I'm going to be getting these seats. Or maybe I got to get them before. I don't know. We'll talk to my wife. We'll figure it all out. But I'm excited. I'm already excited. Let's play. Let's freaking go. What else we got? What's Flo got here? I don't agree. I mean, I don't know that I agree, Flo, that he can't have a tough start. He's over. Look at he as he played. This is the best defense. I do not disagree. This is the best defense he's played. Scott said it. I said it. Bo knows it as a Seahawks fan. It's the best defense he's played. He's played 3 pretty good defenses leading up to this game and figured it out. He figured it out against the Bills in the regular season, game 1. Tough starts, people have them. You overcome them or you lose. Maybe you come back. I think the Patriots defense keeps them in this game. I don't think Sam Darnold's throwing the ball for 350 yards in this game. Or he might. I mean, the Patriots have this, again, a very similar defense to a lot of Patriot defenses during that title run. Bend but don't break. I mean, Drake May's an invaluable player here. Invaluable. I don't care if he's hurt. Injuries are not a reason to lose. They're not an excuse for losing. You have to figure it out. I've said that with other teams. I'm going to say it for my own. And we'll see how it plays out. I don't think there's any reason to think this Patriot team can't come back and win. Came back and won against the Ravens. Are they a great team? No. But they came back and won. They came back and won against the Chargers. They came back and won. They didn't come back and win against but they really overcame slow starts against the Chargers, against the Texans, against the Broncos. Now, obviously, you're going to tell me they didn't play Bo Nix. They didn't play Nico Collins. They did blah, 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 blah. This is a good football team. They can overcome a slow start. I don't want that. That's not an optimal flow, right? The optimal thing would be to, win the coin flip, defer, stop them, score. That's what I want to see. I don't want a slow start. I do think they can overcome a slow start. What Seattle did in the NFC title game is exactly what the Seahawks want to do on offense. Throw the ball 25 to 28 times and run it a ton. They better. I'm going to tell you this, Scott. I think they've got to run the ball better. I mean, Kenneth Walker ran for about 39 yards in that game. Then he averaged less than 3 yards a carry. If the Patriots do that, Sam Darnold's not beating them. Sam Darnold alone will not beat them. Now, the Seattle defense might allow them to still be in the game and win the game, quite frankly. But I do not think Sam Darnold is going to beat the Patriots with the same type of effort from the running game that they got against the Rams. I'm just not seeing it happen. I would agree with Scott's agreeing with me. They do remind me. Yeah, listen. I've said this for a couple of weeks now that this team, it's not a great football team. It's not well, they're going to win a Super Bowl. If they win a Super Bowl, I guess you could say they're not a great team, but they're a Super Bowl champion, and that's all that really matters. But that 2002 team, the 2001, 2002 team, not a great team. Not an overly talented team. A team that played really well together, and everybody on that field knew his job. And everybody on this team knows his job. Even Stephon Diggs is not going out there and bitching and moaning when he's not getting the looks he thinks he should get. Now, next year might be a different story. And I don't really care. All I want to do is win a Super Bowl, and Stephon Diggs can go to prison for the next 10 years. I won't care. But this is a fun, for me, it's a fun football team. Because I'll tell you, all the great Super Bowls, 6 of them, by the way, number one is still the first one. And that team was a gritty football team, and nobody gave them a chance. And look what happened. So, in any event. Yeah, he won't be rooting for me, I can tell you that. They do not root for the Patriots. They're Jet fans, very disgruntled Jet fans. They believe that Joe Namath sold his soul to the devil, and that the Jets will never be competitive again or never win a Super Bowl again. They've had, AFC Championship game appearances. But they'll never be title winners again until he's dead. That's what they truly believe. So he won't be. They will not be rooting for the Patriots, and if the Patriots get ahead, they'll probably go to bed. I mean, they're close to having. I mean, it's as close to it's very close to the same thing as Trump derangement syndrome, or what they have. The Patriots' lead rusher on that team was Antoine Swift, as I said, right? Exactly. Think about it for a minute. I agree. That was not an overly talented football team. But Antoine Smith, Scott, if you remember, Antoine Smith was one of the best fourth quarterbacks, I guarantee you, in the NFL that year. There was tons of games where they just rode him to victory after they got ahead. The defense helped them. Brady didn't beat them. And that sounds funny to say, right? And Antoine Smith, they just rode him in the fourth quarter, similar to what they've done with the Ramondre Stevenson, especially last week. I'm a big Stevenson fan, guys. Bo says the main vulnerability in this team. Let's see. Hold on, Bo. I'm having trouble reading that. The main vulnerability in this team, is the seam, and breaking off routes. Well, again, you know what? You can't freelance in the Super Bowl and expect to come out and win. I mean, I suppose very talented players, and you got some talent. I think you're talking about the Seahawks, and I'd expect the Patriots to find a weakness. Again, he's not going to be calling plays, but Terrell Williams coming back and being around the team is going to be a huge lift for this team. Mindset means a lot, and him being part of contributing to this defensive game plan. It's this team, again, I can't talk enough about what Vrabel's done as far as being a head coach, changing the culture, and everybody buying in. When I say everybody knows his job and does his job, they do. And they buy in. Now, next year, after you win a Super Bowl or lose in a Super Bowl even, maybe that changes. Because we see it happen a lot in sports today. Success breeds contempt. And it's sad, but it's kind of a reality. But for right now, we'll just ride this wave. And if for some reason we've got another big dynasty in this, which I'm not saying will happen, by the way, because very hard to do in football, the way football's put together today. I'll be 85 years old when it's over. That's all I'll say about that. Where am I here? Yeah, I think he's talking about Seattle. Pretty sure he's talking about Seattle. Right? It's hot out here, man. Seattle getting Shaheed stretching. I agree with this comment too from Bo. I mean, Shaheed, Rashid, whatever the frick his name is, has been a huge pickup for Seattle from New Orleans before the trade deadline. He does stretch the field. He contributes on special teams. Big pickup for Seattle. It's very possible special teams, and Rick, I know you'll love to hear that because we know how big special teams are. Special teams will have an impact in this game. I will be shocked if they don't. Scott's agreeing Shahid could have another monster game. Paul's agreeing about 2001 team. The similarities are kind of striking to me, quite frankly. You got one big star in the secondary in Gonzalez. You had Ty Law, although Lawyer Malloy was no slouch, obviously, at the safety position. They were really good at big moments in the trenches, and they had guys who just knew their roles, as I said. Think about it. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl with Troy Brown and David Patton. I don't mean those guys any disrespect. I love Troy Brown. Not everybody's winning with that team. Love May, but I love. Nah, I'm not even going there. No way. Listen, I'm not trading Drake May for any quarterback in the league right now. Who am I trading him for? I mean, when you think about it, because I'm not trading him for one of the old guys. That's just silly. And I'm not trading him for one of the young guys. Drake May, to me, right now, it's because of Jaden Daniels' injury this year, and the team's taking a step back, which isn't surprising. That team could come back and compete next year if he's healthy, meaning the Redskins. I'm not trading Drake May for anybody. I like Caleb Williams. I've been a big proponent of Caleb Williams and saying, give him time. He still makes mistakes. He's a young quarterback. But I personally don't think he can do anything that Drake May can't do. Well, maybe Drake May can't make that, 50-yard pass running backwards. But I don't think that's a lot I'm going to hold against him. Oh, casino's 15 minutes from Scott's home. Okay. Yeah, I won't be able to make the watch along. I'll let the guys know. I'm sure he will. I know that some of you guys, Paul and Danny, Michael hasn't been with us recently, but I know they like to do the watch along. You won't even see me commenting anywhere, guys. When the game starts, don't expect me in the chat. Don't expect me anywhere. Quick fact: 27th Super Bowl is on Valentine's Day. No, that's okay. Let's see. I don't know that next year we may not be on. Next year we may not be on a cruise. We've been on Valentine's Day for the last bunch of years too. We'll be home for Valentine's Day this year. But I feel like the last 7 or 8 Valentine's Day we've been on as well, pretty close. Might have missed 1 or 2. Next year I don't know if we'll be going in January or February because we've already got, besides this cruise, we just booked another one before we got on this one for for November. We've got July in Alaska. We've got November. We're going to be a short one, a 7-day out of Miami that's going to Key West and Bimini and couple other stops. That's in November. My buddy Mark and his wife will be joining us on that one, along with my brother and sister-in-law. Then next May, we're going to Barcelona to sail out of there to Paris, Italy. So I don't know that we'll be on one in February, but I'm not ruling anything out. Who knows? What do we got here? Bo says maybe I'll jump on with you Sunday this week, even though it's 5 a.m. You should do that, by the way, Bo. I'm gonna be on. It looks like I've got a really good. I don't know about really good. You guys haven't really let me know, but from the comments the other day, I think the feed's pretty good. My last cruise in November, we had worst ever connection. I couldn't even get on StreamYard. I had to go to Facebook Live to do it. So I should be able to be on with the boys. I wasn't this morning only because I didn't realize we had an excursion planned this morning. But I'll be on a Sunday morning for sure. I hope you'll jump on, Bo. My plan would I would be planning to be on for the full hour with those guys. So I'm excited about that. Hope to have you there. Should have read that. Oh, that's the same one. That's Scott. So then put the wrong one up. I know it's 5 a.m., Bo. You can do it. Billy Pulver. Just so you know, Bill, there will be Bourbon Manhattan. What time is it now? 3:19. Here it's 3:19. I think back there it's 2:19, correct? Right now I think it's actually, for whatever reason, we stay in ship's time, which is whatever it is. I have no idea. I just know it's 3:19 here. So anyway, after we get done here, we'll go down, take a shower, take a little nap maybe, go down and have a couple of bourbon old fashions before dinner. But good to see you, Billy. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you pop in. What else we got here? Big key is in talking about the Patriots are. Yeah, I mean that's true, Scott. It is huge being able to do this on a rookie contract because you can spend money elsewhere. Remember, the Patriots still have a lot of money under the cap to spend. Drake May will still be on his contract for what, 2 more years? So, you can spend elsewhere. We can upgrade the weapons, although I got to tell you, I am a big fan of Bourne. I'm sorry, not Bourne. Jesus, Kendrick Bourne's gone. Booty. A big fan of Booty. He is going to be the number 1 receiver next year. He has made big catch after big catch. He gets down the field. He runs the middle of the field well. So I don't really care if Stephon Diggs comes back to this team or not, quite frankly, because his track record says he'll be a problem next year. And I will tell you this, what I think about Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel's not going to deal with that nonsense. Mike Vrabel's a guy who learned a lot, and he said he learned a lot from his first time around and then sitting out a year, working on the Browns staff last year. He learned a lot about how to interact with his players and what to expect from his players and what to take and what not to take. And he's not going to take any of Stephon Diggs' crap. So if he stays where he is now and these charges end up being nothing, then he'll be here. If not, goodbye. But I love Booty. Pop Douglas has made some huge catches. Great guy to have around as your fourth receiver, even your 5th receiver. They need to probably get a little deeper at receiver. Kyle Williams has played really well in the second half, getting down the field. So I can see them bringing in more. Hunter Henry's been Drake May's guy. He's starting to get a little long in the tooth. Hasn't played as well late in the season and into these playoffs. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them upgrade the tight end, but continue to upgrade that offensive line. I mean, the running back situation is pretty good if these 2 guys stay healthy and will be okay sharing carries. Again, always problematic when you got one guy who thinks he wants a bigger share of the load. For now, while this is working and they're on board, it all works. Yeah, Williams does some magical stuff. I agree. Drake May does some magical stuff too. I don't doubt that there's throws Williams can make that Drake May can't make, right? But there's plays that Rodgers could make that Tom Brady couldn't. In his wildest dreams, Tom Brady could not make those throws. So I'm fine with the guy that I got. Believe me, I'm not going to complain. I know you aren't either. You're just making conversation pretty much there. Signal's been strong. Good. Yeah, I did a test the other day, Bo, and it came out pretty good. I mean, when I turn my head, I know I got to stay focused, and I will wear my headset when I do the show next week. I didn't bring it up on the deck with me after we got back from the excursion, so I didn't want to run back down and get it. But thank you for that. It appears to be one of the better signals I've had when we've done the show live on ship. Two more, and they will pick up his 5th year, right? Talking about where to go. That's a good catch. Whoever just put that up, by the way. This is good. Drake May's contract. That's why I said 2 more, and obviously it'll pick up his 5th year, and then you got to worry about paying him, $50 million a year, or you lock him up early. Who knows? We'll see what happens there. This is a good catch, Scott. Mac Hollins coming back has been huge for his team. Mac Hollins made a big catch in that Denver game. Mac Hollins doesn't have a ton of catches. Every catch Mac Hollins makes seems to be a big catch. Reminds me of he's bigger and a different kind of player than God, I just had his name in my head. He played a lot. He played for quite a few years on that 2000s team. Not the early team, but later on. Crap. Third receiver. Pretty much every catch he caught was a first down. It'll come to me before I get out of here. But you're right about Mac Hollins. That's a great call, by the way. So I know you're not complaining about Drake May, Paul. There's no reason to complain about him, that's for sure. I'm getting sun again. I'm going to have to move. The sun keeps attacking me, and I can't read. Raiders finalizing a deal with Seattle's Kubiak. Man. I got to tell you, I feel like Kubiak, Bo, you can correct me whether you think I'm right or wrong. I'm not taking that job, man. That's a dysfunctional organization, as there is in football, and has been for a while. And I think Clint Kubiak is kind of in Ben Johnson's situation now, where he could sit back and just kind of wait for a better fit than the Raiders. I mean, I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. Nobody wants the Cardinals and Browns. I mean, nobody wants a Browns job either, but they had to go somewhere. Monken is not a good choice. I mean, they were desperate. And Todd Monken, look, he's a decent coordinator. He did a great job at Georgia. Didn't necessarily set the world on fire as the Ravens offensive coordinator. I do believe Harbaugh was going to bring him to New York with him, but I don't think that's a good hire in Cleveland. And I wouldn't want the Cardinals job either. I think the Cardinals and the Raiders are the worst 2 jobs in football. I really do. 2 dysfunctional organizations that can't get out of their own way. Just one guy's opinion. No, not Troy Brown. Not Troy Brown. He wore 17. And it was after not the first Super Bowl. And probably not even, he played with him like in the second part of that dynasty. David Gibbons. David Gibbons is the guy I'm thinking of, Scott. I believe 17, and like every catch he made for like 2 years was a first down. That's an exaggeration, I guess. So not Troy Brown. Not Amendola either, Paul. No. Again, that's a good one. He's a good one for the later part. Gibbons was gone. Excuse me. Gibbons was gone. Gibbons was kind of in the middle there. He might have even been there when they weren't actually winning Super Bowls, quite frankly. That middle part of the dynasty. But again, David Gibbons is the guy I've been thinking of. Those are good ones, though, you guys came up with. What's Rick got? Yeah, jewelry. Right now, the jewelry, the shops are closed on the ship, Rick, so we're good there. They'll be open later. My wife has been pretty good. She got a nice piece of jewelry in November. You know, I told her, if you're going to book 3 or 4 cruises a year with your sister, we're not getting jewelry every time out. I'll have to go back to work. But she made out pretty good in November, and I did too. I bought myself a really expensive watch, which I left at home, of course. But no, we'll be safe for that. We're going to be going here. We're going to wrap it up here in a couple minutes. Let's see if we can get through these. Because I got to go get in the shower, take a little siesta. What's Paul got here? No, I don't get it. Waiting to hear what Bo's got to say here, but I can't understand. I think Clint Kubiak could be in Ben Johnson's same position where he could have waited and maybe picked a better spot. Remember, he turned down a bunch of Ben Johnson turned down a bunch of even interviews, much less job offers. He didn't take the Carolina job for a reason. Yeah, but again, well, I get what you're saying, Bo. Here's the thing. Mendoza's not a guy who's coming in here. And again, I know you follow the sports. I'm not sure how close you follow the college football season. I know you follow close enough, I think. I do not believe for Fernando Mendoza's coming in there and starting at day one. He's not ready to play in the NFL. He needs to beef up. He needs to get a little better footwork at times. I don't think he's ready to play. I think if they throw him in there, they're setting him up to fail. Obviously, I love the tight end Bauer. I love Crosby. I like their running game. But, first of all, Brady, I don't know how much influence Brady has or doesn't have. Right? Brady made the decision of bringing Pete Carroll, which failed miserably, which led to the decision to bring in Geno. And Tom Brady, by the way, needs to make a decision. Does he want to be a football announcer? Or does he want to be an owner? Give him the GM job and let him run with it. I don't think half measures are going to work here. And the Raiders have been dysfunctional forever. They've brought in football people, and they've still been dysfunctional. And as long as Mark Davis is in control, I think that's the way it's going to be. I think that job sucks. If Bo thinks differently, that's okay. You get the number 1 pick. I agree. But that doesn't guarantee a thing. Again, Fernando Mendoza will not, and maybe, Brady will have some influence on Fernando Mendoza. But I really don't. Again, this is going to get more and more problematic as if Brady ingrains himself more into the day-to-day operations of the Raiders. The Fox job is going to become much more problematic, in my mind. Scott. Deion Branch for a while was a great receiver. They traded him away to Seattle, if you remember. I'm sure Bo remembers him coming up there and not playing nearly as well as he did with the Patriots. And he came back to the Patriots and helped them again. Very good player for sure. Good call. Oh, what happened? I got a teleprompter up now. How do I get out of my teleprompter? There we go. All right, guys, I'm going to take these last couple comments and we're going to get out of here. There is no sports book on the ship, Scott. I do have a future bet on the Patriots to win the Super Bowl, which will pay me around $3,200. And I made a game bet on the Patriots before I left, plus 4.5. So my bets are in. Sorry, I jumped out again, but I'm back. So that's where my bed is. What else, guys? It's getting very hard with the sun again. Sorry, guys. Let me turn this way. All right, hold on. Guys, don't go away. Hold on, don't go away. Oh. I threw a shoe. I threw a lot of stuff. Now I can read a little bit. Let me finish up these last couple comments and we're going to get out of here. Keith, we know why your wife will be a Pats fan. Right. I agree. Scott, I agree. I'm not going to put that up, but I absolutely 100% agree. And what's Bo got? I'm enjoying it. We're having a great time. Thanks, guys. Had a great time. I appreciate you guys tuning in today, and we'll see you live next Sunday. Bo, I'll try to jump on Wednesday night for a little bit. Very problematic with the timing, but we'll see what we can do. Actually, the more I think about it, if you guys are an hour before me still at that point, I might be able to jump on. We'll see how it goes. So, guys, Keith Engle for TGI Sports Talk Sunday Stream of Consciousness. Have a great Sunday. I'll see you soon. 7 days till we get this thing rolling. Bye-bye.